This episode is sponsored by The Break Room, downtown's best spot for a hot lunch every business day.
On this episode, Food Truck Festival, Dale Easton's The Drunkard, summer reading programs, and Positive Connections Tap Gala.
Well, we've got a couple of fantastic guests in the studio. Of course, Kerrice Mapes from 785 Magazine is here, and Rosa Cavazos from Visit Topeka is here, and we're talking about the Food Truck Festival. Rosa, you heard us talk about it earlier on the show, and you had to come down here and talk about it with us because Kerrice and I were talking about it last week. We're really excited about this.
I'm very excited about this. So when you guys were talking about it, it made me hungry all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
This is our first Food Truck Festival in Topeka, and you're the one who had to go out there and knock on all the trailer doors? Is that what
Pretty much. You could see me speeding by in my minivan, driving to try to catch people as they were serving food and begging people to come out and want to participate in our first event ever. So I'm pretty excited about it.
It's very exciting, and it's happening at Gage Park. It's going to be June 12th and 13th, a couple of days. It's a long festival for food trucks to come out. How did you put that whole thing together?
Well, I just thought it would be something great for people to come out on Friday night and come by after work and gather your friends and have some food and listen to the concert, and then come back on Saturday and make a whole day out of it. Maybe go to the zoo and maybe go to the Discovery Center and then go and grab something to eat and go listen to the concert, go back and do something else. The aquatic park is there, so go do that, then go back and eat some more because you'll be hungry after you swim, and then take in the last concert. So it just seemed like a really good fit to be able to make it 2 days, and there's a lot of food to try, so you want to be able to have the opportunity to try the food.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That was something that Chris and I had talked about. Obviously, you heard, but to reiterate for those who maybe missed the show, I've been to some of these food festivals, truck food festivals in the past, and the lines were outrageous. And so, the first time I divide and conquered, so I got to try 2 things. The last time I had a chili dog, which was delicious, but that's it. So I really love what you've done, Rosa, with having it Friday night and all day Saturday, because the way my mind works is I know I can at least get to 3 trucks. Dinner Friday, lunch Saturday, who am I kidding? Midday Saturday, and then dinner Saturday. So I got 4 for sure. Probably could get to half. And so I really appreciate that. And I think that's really smart thinking, because the idea is really to be able to celebrate, this culinary expression that we have in the community and be able to try different things as well.
Yes. So. And I'm one of those people that I may crave, a gourmet hamburger on Friday, and then on Saturday I'm like, oh, I really need to have, a little bit of Asian. But I'm not quite done, so let's just, go for something else. And that might be when I want, to have my midday snack, as you said. Maybe that's my smoothie. And then I'm going to try some ahi tuna for dinner. So, and it's great if you have a big family, because then everybody can go to a couple and then you can all share. So I'm trying to make it as appealing to everyone.
Absolutely. Talk a little bit about what the cost is then and what the price, because I know that's been brought up a lot.
There is no cost to get into the festival
now, pause
whatsoever.
right there. A lot of these things cost a lot of money to go to.
F-R-E-E.
F-R-E-E.
Yes.
Capital.
Yeah.
Underline. Hashtag
Bold.
free. Bold. Got it.
Yeah.
Free.
It is free. Yes, I wanted it to be as family, affordable, friendly, and fun as possible. So there is no charge for anyone. All you have to do is pay for your food. And the portions are what they would sell if you were coming down on a Thursday lunch or, a Wednesday lunch. It's the same portions that you will get. So you will just pay for the regular portions and enjoy a great afternoon, evening, dinner, concert. Same thing. So yeah.
You can't go wrong with that.
Excellent.
No.
At all. And you can enjoy Gage Park the whole day, really. And
exactly.
have a great time out there. And keep going back to those food trucks. As Chris said, there's plenty of, you've got the sweets in there. You've got the savories in there.
Yep.
And you've got multiple opportunities to have multiple meals in there.
Yes.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it is. And, besides that, we also have vendors that will be coming out. So you can, maybe get the face painting, and maybe you need a candle, and so there's just going to be it's going to be a great family fun afternoon. I'm super excited to have this come to the city, so I'm looking forward to it. I can't talk about it enough.
Well, and I know we're excited too. 785's been excited to partner up and help promote the event, and we'll have a booth out there so you can come say hi to us. I mean, if I'm not busy eating, you can come say hi to us. But
Put down your cheesesteak.
put down the
and say hi.
cheesesteak and say hi. But no, it's tremendous, and everything that Visit Topeka is doing, and you know, adding in the concerts and everything like that. Just so thank you so much for all of your time and energy, because this is much needed, and I cannot wait. And I know it's become the buzz. You put it out on Facebook, the event, I think a week ago. I think there's over 1,300 people who said they're interested. Is it more than that now?
Whoa.
Yeah, it's like we're over almost 3,000 people.
Fantastic.
Whoa.
So
Wow.
if you're not there, well, I just don't know where you are then, really.
I don't know
So
either.
yeah,
You have to be
it'll
there.
be the place to be that weekend for sure.
That's about
So-
as many close friends that I have. I told them all to come.
Yeah, it's awesome. And a free concert, you know, we're looking forward to that too. So if you haven't heard Lucas Maddie, he's from Manhattan, and we're just excited. It's Lucas Maddie and the Jagged Edge. So, I mean, you can't beat it. It's free. You can't beat it.
Fantastic. No, that's the Capital City Food Truck Festival happening at Gage Park, June 12th, June 13th. Put it down in those calendars and get out there. Bring the kiddos, because there's plenty of things for them to do in the park. The carousel's open, the train's open, the Kansas Children's Discovery Center's there, the zoo is there. They can play on all the fun equipment that's out there. There's just so many things to do at the zoo. They could even go to the swimming pool. Is that going to be open by then?
Yeah,
Yes,
it opens
yes.
May 23rd.
So it's coming right up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
2 days after school.
Okay, well, it better be open in June. What am I
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you did as a kid, but I was at the pool every day, so.
Well, Rosa, thank you so much for visiting with us. You're from Visit Topeka, Kerrice Mapes from 785 Magazine. Thank you so much for being here to tell us all about this. And we're going to be at the Food Truck Festival. Probably need to be carried out.
Yeah.
Or some kind
Definitely.
of something on wheels. Well, joining us here in the studio is Phil Grecian, author, director extraordinaire, star in The Drunkard, happening in downtown Topeka at the Break Room. It's opening June 13th. How you doing, Phil?
I'm doing good. Rehearsals are good for me.
Very
I'm losing
good.
weight, just jumping up and down and falling down.
Very physical role that you do.
It is a very
You
physical
play,
role.
indeed, The Drunkard.
The Drunkard.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a lot of falling down and a lot of running around and a lot of jumping up and down. And so, yeah, it keeps me in shape. You can just tell by looking at me, can't you?
Okay, now before we were talking about this, you got involved with this in 63. 1963 you've been involved with this show.
Yeah, I was only about this big.
You look much bigger in person than on the TV.
Well, it's,
it's
the
small
magic
on
of
the TV.
television.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But in that whole period of time, the show has evolved. It's been a big piece of Topeka history. What is the Drunkard and Topeka, talk about that relationship.
It's originally Dale Easton's show, and Dale started it in 1960, and it was supposed to run a couple of weekends. And he started at the fairgrounds, which is now the Expo Center here. And it was going to run a couple of weekends, and he kept selling tickets, and it continued to run, and it continued to run, and he moved it to another building at the fairgrounds, and it continued. And it never stopped for a great many years. It ran, like I say, I joined it in 63. Karen Hastings joined it about 2 years later. It stayed at the fairgrounds. Then it went out to Apple Valley in 70. And I quit halfway through 70, and then it went to Apple Valley. And I designed part of the interior of Apple Valley. And then Dale ran it there for a while, and then in the winter time, he would bring it into town and do it downstairs. Well, he would do it downstairs. Initially, we moved from the fairgrounds to downstairs at the Gage Center restaurant. Then we moved from there out to Apple Valley, and from there, in the winter, when we weren't at Apple Valley, we were at one of the local hotels, and we do it there. And then I had started the Showcase Dinner Theater in 77, I think. And Dale took over the Showcase in 78, I think, and brought the Drunkard back into town. And did it there until he retired in 80, I'm going to say 86, but I may be off by 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
And then it lay fallow, and Dale said to Karen Hastings, who had a group that was doing stuff now in the barn, Dale said, it's time to bring the Drunkard back. And Karen said, okay. And Dale said, I will have to give you all the blocking in business, because back in the day, the script had only the lines in it, because there was a tendency in other groups in other states to come into town, sit in the audience, make notes, steal the show, and do it someplace else. So in order to protect the show, Dale made sure there were very few scripts out there, and none of them with any blocking in business. So Dale said, I'm going to have to sit down and give you all the blocking in business. And then one night he and I were talking on the phone, and I said, Trigger, the nickname we had, I said, Trigger, you sound great. And he has some health problems. And he said, I'm feeling good. And I said, great. And I said, well, I'll see you in the next couple of days. And he said, fine. I hung up. He hung up, went over to his bed, lay down, and died. And I got a call in the middle of the night from Karen, and she said, Dale is dead. And I said, no, he's not. I just talked to him. Well, in fact, he had died. So we felt it's necessary for Karen's group to bring Dale's show back, but he didn't give us the blocking and the business. Karen said, what are we going to do? And I said, we were both in it for a long time. We're going to remember it all. And I'd played 3 or 4 parts in The Drunkard, and she'd played 3 or 4 parts in The Drunkard, and we sat down at her dining room table. I had an old script from the 60s that were just lines, and we remembered everything else.
Wow.
And got about 90% of it, and then in rehearsal we'd have these moments where Karen would say, oh wait, I move here.
The aha
moment. So we'd have those moments, and we put the show all back together, and we did it for quite a while. We did it at Apple Valley, we brought it back into town, we did it at TPAC, and then we started doing it a few years ago, about 3 years ago, I think, downstairs at the break room.
Yeah, no, it's been a wonderful time being able to work with you guys on this, and to bring the show back and provide a home for this historic piece of theater and art, really, as it is. And now you have an opportunity to see that in June and July. It runs Friday and Saturday through June and Fridays and that, I should say, plural.
Except for the 4th of July weekend, when everybody's out setting fire to themselves.
And hopefully they're going to be safe doing that, because we want them to come back.
Be safe setting fire to yourself. But But yeah, and it's Dale's show. It's still Dale's show. It's the way Dale's shows looked in the 60s. And it's crazy, and there's a lot of falling down and a lot of broad humor and music and silliness. The Drunkard has an olio at the end, which is essentially burlesque and vaudeville sketches and music and things like that. And most of the olio we do is stuff that Dale found here and Dale found there. It's all the traditional stuff. He taught us a lot, and I think his influence is still there in theater here.
Very good. Well, we're speaking with Phil Grecian, and we're encouraging you to get out and check out The Drunkard. It's happening at the Break Room in downtown Topeka. It opens on June 13th, goes all the way to July 11th, and it plays Friday and Saturday evening. So get those tickets at breakroomdowntown.com. Phil, thank you so much for joining us today. I really do appreciate that. You bet. Joining me here in the studio is my friend Diana Friend from the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library. How are you, Diana?
I am very good.
Hey, thanks for being here. You have some wonderful things happening.
I have some super things happening.
First off, we're approaching summer here. We've had a lot of graduations. Kids are getting out of school. What's that doing for the library?
The big thing, especially for your school-age children, they do better in school. We have been tracking our success with our summer reading program through the schools over the last 6 years, and we have data that's solid that if your children will read a minimum of 12 hours this summer, they will come back to school in August at least reading at the grade level that they ended at the end of the school year, and be prepared to start reading at a higher level when they start school, instead of having to go back and kind of catch up.
Fill the hole back in, yeah. It's kind of the maintenance, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
And hopefully during the summer they will discover that book series that they didn't know was out there, and they will use their imagination, or when they do see the movie or the play that goes with that, and they're going, wow, I didn't see it like that. But it becomes part of their DNA, if you will. that they learn how to use that creativity to solve problems and to communicate with others.
Now, you have some unique tools available to help make sure that we're getting enough reading time, and you have these reading trackers here. How does that work?
We do. I brought a couple of our reading trackers because we have 5 different areas. They start with the infants because even though the infants can't read, mom or their caregivers can read for them, and for them to keep track. See, we made them very pretty, colorful, so they fit really well on the refrigerator this year. And everything, you're holding the one for the elementary age school kids, and everything's marked off in 2-hour increments, which is or in 20-minute increments, which is similar to the iRead 20 that the Topeka Public Schools does. So this fulfills their requirements for the iRead 20.
Great.
Up to 12 hours. Every 2 hours, you're going to win a prize. For the Be A Readers, there's a list of different activities you can do with your infants. And we even have ones for teens. And believe it or not, the teen reading program is growing every year. We really do see a return of interest to teenagers doing that. And of course, we also have an adult summer reading program, which isn't measured on time, but on pages read.
Well, lots of great ways to make sure the kids enjoy the summer through reading, and that's happening at the library. So, and make sure you get to the new bookmobile grand opening on June 3rd. That's really exciting that the community's come together to bring that here.
We really are. And this bookmobile, Capital Federal purchased the Sherlock bookmobile for us, and this bookmobile was actually purchased from a estate gift from Hugh and Margaret McCausland, which were longtime library volunteers. And
Very nice.
We have a feeling that Margaret would have been very happy to see that her money is actually going to be taking the library out into the community.
Absolutely. And just what a wonderful tribute as well.
It is.
Yeah. Well, I thank you so much. That's Diana Friend with the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library. Find out everything they have going on at tscpl.org. Thank you so much for joining me today. And let's get those kids out there and get them to read at least 20 minutes every day.
Yes.
That's the thing. All right. Well, joining me here in the Talk About Topeka studio is Debbie Guilbault. She's the Executive Director of Positive Connections, and a yearly event is coming up. It's the TAP Gala. Funds a lot of their programming, and they're celebrating 30 years of operation this year. How you doing, Debbie?
Good, thank you.
Big milestone coming up right over the hill here.
Huge,
Okay.
huge.
So tell us a little bit about, I guess, for anyone who may not understand, Positive Connections was formerly the Topeka AIDS Project several years ago. There was a name change there, same organization.
Right.
But tell us a little bit about the elevator speech about the organization.
Basically, we provide case management for people who are HIV positive or living with HIV or AIDS. That case management helps them get connected to medical care and stay healthy. And also, by being in care, helps to prevent spread of the virus further. We also do prevention. We'll come out and do education talks about how HIV is transmitted, how to avoid it, that type of thing, as well as free HIV testing, free syphilis testing, and free Hep C testing.
Excellent. So it's a vital service. A lot of people who may be at risk may not be able to afford testing. They may not need that.
Absolutely.
It's vital to the community.
It is, very much so. And, we look at treatment for HIV as prevention because people who are in treatment typically will achieve an undetectable viral load. And that makes it much less likely that they will pass the virus on to someone else. So that's our ultimate goal with our case management program, is to keep people at an undetectable viral load and keep them healthy themselves. So we really work on keeping them in medical care and keeping them taking their meds like they're supposed to and that kind of thing.
Okay, and your biggest fundraiser is coming up. It is the TAP Gala. We were talking about banquet, gala, the difference between, I don't know if it's gala or gala, however it works. But
it's a party.
There you go.
There we go.
Maybe someday
the TAP
I'll be
party.
more cultured and know what I'm doing. That's happening on June 27th.
Right.
And it is going to be a huge party for the 30 year. It's going to be a big celebration. Tell us a little bit about the event.
Well, we will have to, we've always had the live auction, silent auction. We will have that again, but we'll have have a whole lot of activities that are going on as well. Our theme this year is Back to the Gala, kind of like Back to the Future. So we will be taking our audience, our attendees, back to 1985.
1.21 gigawatts.
Right?
Yeah.
Clock tower and all of that stuff. But we've got some 80s themes going on throughout the night. We will have, this is new this year, but we will have an 80s best dressed. So people can either A, dress up like their favorite 80s rock star or favorite 80s character, whatever, or dress like, you see all the Throwback Thursday pictures on Facebook. They can dress like their Throwback Thursday pictures and enter into the best dressed contest, and we'll be taking votes for that throughout the night.
Excellent.
So we'll also be doing 80s videos and songs by request.
Cool.
So there'll be a lot of 80s stuff going on. We have several games that'll be going on throughout the evening.
Sounds like quite a party and a good time.
We have discovered that people don't really like to come and sit at a table and listen to us talk about what we do. Although we do talk about what we do, and we're very proud of what we do. But we also have discovered that people like to come in and talk to their friends and be engaged. And so we're offering definitely a lot of opportunity to be engaged this year.
It is a fascinating topic. It is something that a lot of people have had to deal with. It is still a life sentence. People are still being affected by this. People's lives are still touched by this. It's important that people know their status. It's important that that testing is available, and it's important that your organization continues for those people.
Absolutely.
And so the way we're going to do that in this community is we're going to make sure that they have a very successful gala. That's on the 27th of June. Now, how do people get involved with going to this thing? Do they have to register in advance, or how's that work?
The tickets are available now on sale. You can either go to our Facebook page, and there's a link to our website, or you can go directly to our website and order tickets online. You can also call our office or stop by our office, and we can sell tickets. Tickets are $60 in advance, and then tables of 8 for $400. So if you put together a table of 8, you really get a $10 discount on each ticket. So that kind of makes and it's fun to have a big party, a big table of 8 party. So that makes it more fun for people and gives them a little bit of discount. And so we're selling tickets now. We've already got about 7 or 8 tables sold, and just the invitations just went out last week. So we'd like to get as many people as we can at the event, and I think you'll have a fun time.
Well, absolutely, a great way
and
to
support a great cause
in a great community. And I really thank you so much for joining us today. Now,
thank you for
I always talk about people who can go. So if you have the money to go, please do go. If they don't have the money, say, to go, do you need volunteers?
Absolutely.
How can they get involved with that?
Absolutely. Call our office. Kathleen on our staff is kind of gathering together the volunteers, and I believe the last time I checked, we use about 60 volunteers during the event, and I think we're still looking for probably another 20 or 25. So there's definitely that opportunity to get involved as well at that level. We need more volunteers this year than we've ever needed because we've got so many activities going on.
And it's the big 3-0 for the
organization. Yes, absolutely.
Very good. So it's something you're not going to want to miss out on. Get down to the Ramada, June 27th. Make sure that's going to be in your calendar for the TAP Gala from Positive Connections. That's Debbie Guilbault. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.